genocide took place in northern Iraq. In this area, there are Sunni Kurds. They are ethnically Kurdish and practice Sunni Islam, the most common branch of Islam. Then there are the Sunni Arabs. They are ethnically Arab and also practice Sunni Islam. Then there are the Yazidis, who are a small minority of the population. They practice an ancient religion that has elements of Islam and Christianity. The ISIL, the Islamic State of Iraq and Levant, had a chokehold on northwest Iraq and western Syria. In 2014, the year the genocide started, the ISIL had much control over the areas that the Yazidis inhabited. The ISIL, which is commonly used interchangeably, stands for the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. The Levant including Cyprus, Jordan, Israel, Lebanon, Palestine, Syria, and Turkey. The ISIL is a jihadist militant group that follows Sunni Islam and is formally recognized as a terrorist organization. This radicalized militant group saw the Yazidi in a very negative light, mainly because of a single angel out of 7 they worship. This one in particular, a peacock, the ISIL sees as similar to the devil. Its story was that it was almost as powerful as God, and when God came up with rules, the peacock refused to submit. It was then sent to hell. Because of this, the ISIL sees the peacock as being just as evil as the devil for its refusal, making the Yazidis devil worshippers in their eyes, when in reality, the Yazidis look up to this angel because of its overall refusal to submit. This was the main motive for the genocide that took place against them. This genocide started on August 3, 2014. The ISIL seized a city called Sinjar and the surrounding areas, killing and kidnapping the Yazidis. Some escaped to Mount Sinjar. The ISIL quickly followed, keeping them captive and starved and abused the people. The conditions such as high temperatures did not help the Yazidis. The U.S. conducted airstrikes and dropped aid for the Yazidis to prevent from a humanitarian disaster.
As mentioned, in 2014, Sinjar, which is home to around 400,000 Yazidis, was attacked by ISIL. The U.S. became a big part in the fight against ISIL, providing aid in the form of airstrikes and nutriments. In August 2014, the U.S. airdropped about 72 bundles of food and water to the Yazidi people. By September 2014, 154 airstrikes had been launched against ISIL. Although the U.S. managed to stop ISIL, 9,900 Yazidis were killed or enslaved. Since then, over 70 countries and international organizations have joined together to fight against ISIL. However, despite many going against ISIL, the Yazidis seem to be forgotten since many are dead in concentration camps or taking shelter in the mountains. The coalition won against ISIL, but the Yazidis were forgotten along the way.
Northern Iraq consists of several ethnic and religious groups, including the Shia Arabs, Sunni Arabs, Kurds, and Yazidis. The minority Kurds and Yazidis have been heavily persecuted by Islamic extremists in the region. ISIL militants stormed into the Yazidi heartland in the summer of 2014, killing tens of thousands of people and kidnapping thousands of young women and girls to be used as sex slaves. Iraq's northern border with Turkey is important because after the Islamic extremists' attack on the Yazidis' territory, thousands of Yazidis fled to Turkey. However, the Turkish state did not support the Yazidi refugee camps, so they were instead funded by Kurdish municipalities with the support of activists and some NGOs. After 1.5 years, many of the Yazidis returned to Iraq, as they were afraid of the Turkish state and thought it was collaborating with ISIS. However, thanks to the international focus on reconciling Iraq's diverse communities, there have been many successful military operations against the Islamic State, leading to the liberation of many captives and embattled areas. Within the last month, many Yazidi female sex slaves have been released after years of captivity and serial rape. These women are now speaking out and sharing their stories to document the effects of the terror group's system of sexual abuse. As these people escape from captivity, new stories are being released about ISIL's methods of torment. Some teenage Yazidi boys who escaped captivity described how they were forced to join the ISIL army. ISIL starved the boys until they were too consumed with hunger to be afraid, and then taught them how to use suicide bombs. These survivors have the intent of sharing their stories to make a statement to the world on the importance of stopping the horrific persecution of the Yazidis.